When I think of Easter, I think of a moment of victory. I think a moment that defines history. A moment where not just Jews can connect with the living God. It's a moment of love that sums up Jesus' life here on earth. It's a moment of pain, a moment of agony, and a moment of brokenness. It's a moment of despair, a moment of death. A small window in Earth's history that shaped the entire Earth. It's shaped the entire mankind. A small moment in history that has changed the way we have lived. Some people see Jesus' death as pointless, stupid, dumb, a waste of time and waste of life. But I don't see it that way. To me, it shows that God so loved the world that He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, and whoever believes in Him shall not perish but have eternal life. To me, it shows that it goes beyond, God's love goes beyond just words to action. To me, it shows that God values us. It shows that God was personally involved in creating us, knitting us together in our mother's womb. That He was involved in giving us a plan and purpose. It's the biggest romance story history has ever known. Forget about sending your lover flowers on Valentine's Day. God sent Jesus, His only Son. He's saying, I love you, and I love you. When I think about Jesus in the garden, I feel a sense of grief. I feel the pain in Jesus' body as He fights with the whole idea that He's about to go to the cross. He's about to go and face the most horrendous punishment. See, Jesus was an innocent man. In Luke 22:41 to 42 it says this. He withdrew about a stone throws beyond them. This is the disciples. Knelt down and prayed. Father, if you're willing, take up this cup from me. But yet not my will, but yours be done. And an angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. And in being anguished, he prayed more earnestly. And his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. The stress, the physical and emotional stress that Jesus must have been going through at that point is horrendous. Doctors actually say it's physically possible to sweat blood. But the stress, the emotional trauma that you have to be going through at that point is close to actually dying a death. This is no sweet message. This is no sweet little Jesus. This is a bitter cup. In the movie, The Passion of Christ, they have Satan standing on one side and he's just there being a menace, just mocking, just being antagonistic. I used to have antagonistic sisters. In fact, they used to antagonize me to the point where I'd lash out and I'd get in trouble. And so one day I thought I'd have my revenge. See, one of my sisters had a loose lip. She could cuss the skin off a cow's hide, man. She was loose. She was rapid fire, just paint the wall black. I've never seen anything to this day like it. Anyway, and so in our house back in the day, you weren't allowed to swear. You get in so much trouble if you swore. I'd have my revenge, and so I set my sister up a beauty. See, my dad had the stereo with a microphone. And so I got my sister into the living room, and I wound her up, and just as she's about to let rip, record. Oh, beautiful. There's a good 2 minutes on there. I thought, well, that's it. She won't even be able to eat for a year. You know, push play when Dad walks in the door. Yeah, got my revenge. But you see, in that moment in the garden where Jesus was there praying and pleading with his Father to take this cup, this bitter cup away from me. And Satan's there antagonizing. You know, Jesus could have lashed out physically. He could have told some angels to come and remove Satan. He could have said, depart from me, like he did way back in the day when he was first getting into ministry. He could have done anything to get rid of the devil. But he knew that if he did that, man, it's going to mess up the whole plan. And this is where we come to scene 2.
Quella dentro, canine. Canna pro canne. Scrive poeta in tergo suo. Basta non verba. Scrivam in sanguine. Pur non. Facci a musica. Iucunditas. Andrem. Capivo, capivo.
Pacific.
Rosa Pulcherring. Affigite illum, resem verbum. Ave, rex verbinotus, ave.
Isaiah 53 says this, and part of it was read as the introduction. I think it's profound. Some would say it was the prophetic whisper of Jesus being mutilated before he was crucified. It says this, Isaiah 53, verse 3. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering, like one from whom men hid their faces. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he took up our infirmities and carried our sorrows. Yet we considered him stricken by God, smitten by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each one of us has turned to his own way, and the Lord has laid upon him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and afflicted, and yet his mouth did not open. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before his shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. Again, Jesus had every opportunity to call down a legion of angels and just blow up the place. He had every opportunity just to break the chains. He was God. He had all power, all strength, all might, but he didn't.